Hi guys, MrRoflWaffles here. Origins Easter egg, Black Ops 3 Zombies Chronicles, super straightforward, no-nonsense guide. Let's go. To kick things off, Gobblegum recommendations. I think insta-kills, so Killjoy for the final step might be quite useful. Also, Dead of Nuclear Winter to spawn in nuke power-ups so that you can stop Templar zombies from stealing your generators. And finally, maybe Head Drama if you're having trouble with the Panzers and you want to pap a KRM or something like that. That might be useful as well. The usual suspects like Perkaholic, Phoenix Up, and Near-Death Experience all feature here too, as well as Cashback if you want to be spraying your staff for your entire game. You can multitask a little bit during this Easter egg, so once your game begins, start doing things like building the shield, building the Maxis drone, filling the soul chests around the map, and turning on all of the generators. If you have a zombie blood in your ritual chest in the spawn area as a reward, don't pick it up. Leave it there for later. If you know how to get the G-strikes, then go for those as well. Just generally, spend your time wisely. Feel free to check the checklist in the description down below if you want any reminders. The Easter egg is broken up into the 8 steps to escape Vorkuta that Viktor Reznov laid out in the Black Ops 1 campaign. I'll have those 8 steps on screen right now so you can take a quick look at them. Once you get to and complete step 7, that's Raise Hell, you'll actually get your trophy or achievement, but you've got to remember to finish step 8, Freedom, in order to end your game and unlock the end cutscene. Now that we've seen that quick overview, we can dive into the steps themselves.
Step 1! Secure the keys!
This requires you to build and upgrade all of the staffs. I have in-depth videos for each of the individual staff building and upgrade processes on my channel linked in the description down below. So if you don't know how to do any of these, and you need all 4 of them by the way, then click down there, give it a watch, pause this video temporarily, and then come back over here and we can get on with the Easter egg. You can get quite a lot done while you're upgrading them, like building the shield and drone, etc. So make sure that you're thinking about those things as you play.
What is step 2?
Ascend from darkness!
It's worth noting that all of the 115 conversion generators have to be turned on in order for you to do this step, so make sure they are all active when you do it. Once your staffs are all upgraded, you're going to be able to place them in the new holders that have spawned around the map. 3 of them are in the heads of the robots walking around the map, and 1 of them is at the bottom of the mound, aka the excavation site. The ice staff goes into the church robot, the wind staff goes into the middle robot, the lightning staff goes into the spawn robot, and the fire staff goes at the bottom of the mound, just in that holder in front of the statues. Once those 4 staffs have been put in place, they will be accessible again from the mound, so you can go back to the excavation site and pick them up from in front of the statues there.
3!
Rain fire!
Just like with the last step, this step requires all of the generators on the map to be turned on. To do this step, you're going to need the G-strike, but only 1 person in your game needs it, so if you or one of your teammates have already got the G-strikes in your game, then fantastic, you can skip about 90 seconds forwards into the guide. For those of you that don't know how to get them, I'm going to explain it now. Go to the tank station and pick up one of these stone slabs you can find on this desk. Bring it over to the church and place it in this little basin of holy water at the back of the top floor. Once it's in there, you're going to need to cleanse it by killing zombies using melee attacks only in close proximity to the basin itself. So use a shield potentially, use thunder punches if you have them, or potentially use the upgraded staff's knife. Whatever works for you, but get melee kills near the tablet, and once you're done, it's going to become clean. It will go from a kind of brownish color to silver. You'll then be able to pick it up again and start walking it back towards the tank station where you originally found it. But there's a catch. You have to keep it clean, and to do so, you have to avoid the mud on the floor at all costs. So walk along the route that I'm showing you now. If you mess up and you end up standing in the mud, then Samantha will tell you to start over, just go back to the holy water, clean off your tablet, and then get back on your way, but avoid the mud this time, and you should be good. Once you get back to the tank station, place the tablet down on the desk where you found it, and get a load more melee kills. It's going to be around 20, I believe, and once you've done that, you'll be able to actually pick up a G-strike from the table. It'll just be floating there for you to grab. Okay, if you skipped forward, then welcome back, and if not, then congrats, you now have your G-strikes. We now need to use them in order to finish the step, but the way that we use them is a little different depending on if you're in a solo game or a co-op game. What we're essentially trying to achieve is the breaking of a stone seal just outside the map by Stamina, and we're going to do that by throwing a G-strike on top of it. However, just before you do this, you need to press a red button inside one of the robot's heads, and you'll then have around about 20 seconds or something in order to throw your G-Strike and have it land on the slab. This is why there's a difference between solo and co-op. In co-op, just send a teammate into one of the robots, it doesn't matter which one, just go into whatever foot is open at a given time, and inside you should find a red button where the wind staff part used to be before you picked it up. Press the button, tell your teammate can throw the G-Strike straight away, and you'll be fine. However, in solo, you absolutely have to wait for the middle robot, because otherwise you will not have enough time to get to the area you need to be in order to throw your G-Strike and actually break the seal. It's not easy solo by any means, but it is possible if you replicate the sort of throw that I'm doing in my game just here. You can practice it with grenades as well, as the trajectories are fairly similar, and, well, practice makes perfect, you'll get it eventually. Good luck, soldier.
Ford!
Unleash the horde!
To do this, you're going to need a Maxis drone, and you'll also probably need a spare set of underwear, as a billion panzers are going to come out of that pit and attempt to stomp on your face as soon as you throw the Maxis drone in there. The community's preference tends to be the fire or lightning staff in order to kill panzers effectively. If you don't remember how to build the Maxis drone, then I have a guide for it on my channel down below, but I'll give you some bullet points now just to point you in the right direction. There are 3 parts for it. The brain is always in the spawn, the second will be either on top of or inside the mound, and the third part is always on one of the mud tracks going into or out of the church, or at the very bottom of the ice tunnel on the left. If you need more details, check the description down below. Once the drone is built, bring it to stamina up and release it just in front of the pit. It should fly inside, the panzers will jump out, make use of the staves you've built in order to take them out, and you'll be ready to move on.
5!
Skewer the winged beast!
This step requires the use of zombie blood, and that's why I said at the beginning of the guide that if you've got that zombie blood drop in the chest in the spawn area, you should leave it there until you get onto this step. First of all, I'm going to quickly give you an idea of what you need to do with the zombie blood, but if you don't have any, don't worry. In a moment, I'll give you a tip to get a new one every single round. During this step, players in Zombie Blood are going to be able to see a glowing plane in the sky, similar to the plane we saw earlier on when we were building the fire staff. The plane needs to be shot down with a projectile weapon, like a Pack-a-Punch MP40 or something, but not the Boomhilda. Just a heads up, that gun doesn't work. Once the plane has been shot down, the pilot is going to be running around the mound, that's the excavation site in the middle of the map, in clockwise circles. But they will be invisible unless you have Zombie Blood active. What I recommend you do is get Zombie Blood, run in anti-clockwise circles so you bump into the zombie faster, and then as soon as you see it, and you can listen for it as well, that should help you out, kill it. If you've killed the right zombie, it will drop the Maxis drone so you can just run over to it and pick it up. It can be a little resilient, so maybe make sure you have a staff with you when you're trying to do this, and if you can't find the zombie, try again with another Zombie Blood another round, or potentially double check to make sure you did actually shoot down the plane a minute ago. Bear in mind that the zombie doesn't really look particularly special, so you've got to be a bit of a sleuth and figure out which one is just running in circles around the mound. That's the one that's got to die. Okay, so, a moment ago, I mentioned the fact that I have a tip for you if you need a Zombie Blood and don't currently have one in your game. To do this, grab yourself the ice staff and come to the mound area of the map. Around the mound, there are 3 burning wooden wagons, 3 carts, 3 chariots, if you will. You need to essentially extinguish those 3 carts by shooting them with the ice staff, and once you do so, a Zombie Blood drop will spawn on top of the mound just near the Pack-a-Punch. The 3 cart locations are as follows. One is between the jug soul box that you filled up earlier on and the mound. It's just basically between those 2, big wooden cart, burning, extinguish it. Another is just to the left of you when you're walking up towards the mound from the workshop at the beginning of your game, basically opposite the MP40 wall by around there. The third, and by the way, you can do these in any order, but the third is going to be towards the stamina up area of the map, except instead of being on the side where we threw the drone into the pit before, it's on the other side of that little area. As I said, the Zombie Blood drop will spawn in just next to the Pack-a-Punch, so grab it, shoot down the plane, kill the pilot, grab the Maxis drone, and by that point, you'll be all caught up.
6!
Wield the fist of iron!
For this, you need the Thunder Punch, because you're going to be upgrading them. If you don't have that already in your game, then I'll explain it now. If you do have them in your game, skip forward into the guide about 60 seconds. As I mentioned earlier, you need to work on filling all of these soul chests that are around the map. There are 4 locations, and each of them lie in a footprint left by one of the giant robots. One is in the footprint just adjacent to the Juggernog machine, one is over by Stamina, one is on the way to the church, and the last one is in the center sort of area of the map, just by the mound itself. You need to kill zombies in close proximity to the box so that their souls fly into it, but bear in mind that if the robot steps on your location while you're filling the box up, it will reset your progress, so you need to be fairly snappy. Obviously, once the chest is completely filled, the robot can no longer reset it. Once you've done all 4 of those, you can go to Generator 6, which is behind the church, and there's a rewards box that you can activate to get your Thunder Punches. To do so, just aim at the reward that you're trying to redeem on the box itself, hold your use button, and a glow should come out of the box. They're the Thunder Punches, so grab them, your character will do a cheeky little animation, and you'll be ready to keep going with the egg. Head down to the bottom of the mound. Templar zombies will spawn in, and they'll have a kind of white, misty glow around them. You need to punch them, and when you do so, that white misty glow will disappear. Note that you don't actually need to kill them with the fists, it's just that one first punch on each zombie in order to get rid of the white mist. Also, bear in mind here that the type of fist upgrade that you're about to get is going to depend on what staff you're holding at the time. So, one of your 2 weapons might be, I don't know, the fire staff for example, and if that's the case, you'll get the upgraded fire fists. After you've punched enough Templar zombies with that white glow on them while you've got a staff in your primary or secondary weapon slot, a stone tablet is going to drop, and if you run over to it and hold square, you're going to be able to pick it up, and that will upgrade your fists. Once everyone in your game has a fist upgrade, you're ready to move on. Congrats, you're now wielding a Fist of Elemental Iron.
7!
Bring all of the upgraded elemental staves down to the crazy place, and place them in their respective holders. Once you do so, you will not be able to pick them back up again for the duration of this step, so bear that in mind. Once all 4 staves are down, you need to kill zombies in the crazy place, and this will only really start working if all 4 of the staves are in their respective holders. Kill a bunch of zombies. After enough kills, your screen is going to flash white, and you'll get the achievement, Little Lost Girl. Congratulations, you've nearly, but not quite, completed the Origins Easter egg. There's more. However, if you're a bit worried about that last step, let me just go over a couple of tips. First of all, remember right at the beginning of the guide, I recommended that you bring along the insta-kill Gobblegum? That should make your life a lot easier here, because you can just pop a couple of instas, go through all of the zombies nice and casually, and you shouldn't really have too tough a time. Also, remember, you've just upgraded your fists, and those things are beastly, so use them to your advantage. Also, don't worry about staying in the middle of the crazy place the entire time. Feel free to go to the edges of the room, so for example, where you were filling up the fire cauldrons before, because in those spots, you're not going to have walls plonking down on you the entire time, and that might make your life a little bit more manageable. Do whatever suits you, though. Now then, time to wrap this baby up.
Step 8, Reznov! Step 8! Freedom!
Bring the Maxis drone down into the crazy place and release it into the sky. It should fly up and enter Agartha so that he can reunite with Samantha. The paradox must be resolved, the loop must be closed. The very last thing you need to do is have your team come into the center of the crazy place and hold square while inside that blue beam standing on the 115 disc in the middle of the room. Your game will end and the cutscene will play. If you've found this guide useful, consider sharing it with your friends or leaving a like on the video to show your support. I'd like to really quickly thank a couple of people for their help in the making of this video. Starburst for consultation on the egg steps, Liam, JC, and Lex all helped out as well. Roll On Math 2 for providing the audio. One last thing, thanks to Chucky, Noah, John, and a couple of other people for sharing their gameplay with me. I have a lot of other guides on my channel, guys, so subscribe if you want more of this sort of content. No-nonsense, easy-to-follow guides are my speciality, and I'll see you guys next time, hopefully. I'm gonna play the cutscene now. Enjoy.
As the gates to Agartha opened, the 4 heroes were rewarded with riches beyond imagination. From that day forward, they knew that Samantha would keep them safe. Forever.
getting everything wrong. I told you before their eyes should be blue.
It's my turn, Eddie. I can do whatever I want.
But you don't even know how to play properly. Girls don't know enough about zombies.
What's the choice of it, children? Make sure the windows are locked before you come down to the basement.
We'd better do what your dad says. I didn't even get my turn.
Tomorrow, Eddie, you get to make the rules. I promise. Come on, Fluffy.
I wish the heroes in our stories were real, Sam.
I know what you mean. But we will make everything okay. My dad says he has a plan.